Listen, I could talk to y'all all day and tell you how much I love you, but we have to dig in. Because who the bleep did I marry? You know what I'm talking about. It is the TikTok hashtag and video series now viewed by millions around the world. It's about allegations of lies, deceit, and betrayal. And the woman at the center of it all is joining us today for an exclusive daytime conversation. Who the bleep did I marry? It is the work, you might say, some say masterpiece, of Reesa Teesa. And it's all about the alleged betrayal of her now ex-husband. She launched it on Valentine's Day, and people have not stopped reading it since. It's 50 parts, 8 hours long, and so compelling that millions around the world have made it must-watch TV. While the theme isn't new investigation discovery, as an entire series with the title, it's become an obsession for some, even like celebrities. I know NSYNC member Lance Bass couldn't get enough of it. Look at him, he had his popcorn. The story starts March 4th, 2020, just weeks before the COVID shutdown, when Reesa meets the man she calls Legion on a dating app. Take a look.
Hi, and welcome. We all know why you're here.
It's the TikTok soap opera that tens of millions of people can't get enough of. And the story of Reesa and Legion begins like most. After meeting on a dating app, they exchange phone numbers, and he reaches out first.
In the first phone call, he told me that he had just moved to Georgia from California from San Diego. His job had transferred him because he was being transferred in as the new regional manager. We talked about family. We talked about friends. We talked about our jobs. At the time, I was working at Georgia State Patrol. Also in that phone call, he explained to me that he used to play arena football.
They agree to meet in person, but on the way to their first date, her car tire blows out.
So I called him and I said, hey, I'm so sorry, but my tire just blew. I said, I got to get this fixed. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm a damsel in distress. So he shows up to the gas station. He changes my tire, which I just thought was the sexiest thing in the world.
Afterwards, he takes her to a tire store and bought her a new tire, then continued on to dinner. She says it was everything she dreamed.
We hold hands walking into the Cheesecake Factory. So in my mind, I'm like, this. Oh my God, I had butterflies. That's the look of a woman who had butterflies.
While waiting for a table, they fall into a deep conversation.
He tells me, I believe at the time he was 42. He was like, I want to get married.
Dinner goes so well, by the time the date ends, she's seeing signs.
So at the end of dinner, we sat in his car and he played this song for me by John Legend. I just remember that John Legend was talking about, I think I met my wife tonight. And I thought it was a sign. So I was like, oh my God.
For the next 2.5 weeks, they talk every day, and then COVID shuts down the state.
So he moved in, he paid all the household bills. So my check really was just taking care of me, myself, and I. It was intoxicating to not have to worry financially about how to pay the bills.
Soon after, he says he wants to buy a home for the two of them.
This is when he showed me a letter from Chase with the Chase logo at the top, stating that he had been approved for a $750,000 mortgage.
And Tam Fam, that is where Reesa says the trouble starts. Her first episode has more than 37 million views. And now in a daytime exclusive, Reesa speaking out for the first time. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. I already know that this has been overwhelming for you. How do you process it right now? With a smile on your face.
I'm doing the best I can.
What do you mean by that?
It just means this is so surreal. First of all, being here is surreal. But it has been overwhelming. I'm still very much a regular woman. I have not quit my job, so I still go to work every day.
What did you think was going to happen? I'm always curious. When you hit send on the first one for the world to see, what did you think was going to happen?
So I honestly didn't think it was going to turn into this. When I had uploaded the series, I did it in batches.
Yeah.
So I did like parts 1 through 5. Well, parts 1 through 5 only had about 20,000 views. So I was like, okay, no one's really going to watch a 10-minute long video, let alone 50.
If you thought no one was going to watch, why did you load it up?
I hope somebody would.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be this.
For full disclosure here, you've not received any money from this. This was not done for money.
Correct.
This was done as a therapy.
Correct, absolutely. It was very therapeutic and cathartic to get it out, to again just tell my experience of something that happened to me.
Was it a cautionary tale to warn other people?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like my whole attitude was, I hope that someone sees it. I hope it helps someone who may be in a situation the way that I was, where you really, really want the fairy tale, and you're ignoring certain things. And so I'm just trying to come to you, woman to woman, woman to man, and say, hey, don't ignore that.
Don't ignore the signs.
Don't ignore the signs.
Okay, so I have to say this for legal reasons. We reached out to your ex. He has said don't use his image or his real name, even though other people have done so. We are not doing that.
Yes.
Let's go back to the beginning. I'm listening to the first story, and I can see you in the car, and he's following you in a donut. You're like, jackpot. I got me one here, a good one. You go to the dinner.
To the Cheesecake Factory, which is my favorite, so that's why I did it. And again, the whole conversation flowed. Because again, one thing that I will say about my ex, who is being portrayed right now, is not who I met. He was charming. He was very career-minded. Again, he could dress very well. He carried himself as someone who was serious. We had a good sense of humor, so we were able to be at dinner laughing, joking, talking about family, talking about the things that we wanted in life. And so when he presented himself as saying, you know, I'm 42, I'm ready to settle down, I believed that.
What had your love life been like before that?
I had been in love before. It didn't work out, but I was at that age where I was like, okay, time is running out in terms of wanting a family. And that fueled a lot of it, because I really looked up one day and I was like, oh my God, I'm way past 30. I'm ready to get married. I felt like my biological clock was absolutely going off. You were
ready for love, you were ready for a family, and here's somebody who, as you pointed out, seemed serious, seemed about his business. When you all went to dinner, he paid for the dinner, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I asked that because a lot of folks have wondered, this wasn't about financials, right?
Right.
He didn't ask you for money.
No.
You never had to make any wire transfer. There was no uncle who suddenly got sick and you needed to loan him some money for. Nothing like that.
No.
Because he was paying all the bills.
Correct. Once he moved in, he was paying all the bills, and the story behind him paying the bills was, I'm your man, and I'm going to provide for you. So as my woman, your check is your check. I got you. That's exact. And when he said that, I said, oh, Jesus, okay, thank you.